Hey guys, welcome back, and we're going to talk about Castlevania. I know I haven't actually watched the animated series. I really need to. People have said that the first series, the first 4 seasons are fantastic. I mean, I grew up playing Castlevania. I love the games, the original, Super Castlevania, and 64 version. I even played the one for I want to say it was like Xbox or PlayStation 1 or 2. It's the Symphony or Shadows, whatever it was. I can't remember. The sequel wasn't so good. I stopped halfway through, but the first one was great. Lords of Shadow, I think it was. Great game, fantastic game. So I love Castlevania. Great series. Well, unfortunately, the second season for Castlevania has come out, or let's say Castlevania Part 2, Castlevania Nocturne. It's a spin-off show essentially based on the original cartoon. And it came out a few days ago. It's still doing well as far as popularity goes. Number 5 right now for most popular TV show online, according to television stats. Doing well on Netflix, number 3 in drama, number 3 in sci-fi fantasy. So it's doing well as far as watch time goes. People are actually watching the show, which is great. You know, good for whoever is behind this show. Good for Netflix, whatever. However, the Rotten Tomatoes score, not doing so well. And as you can see, here we have this wonderful disparity between critics and audience again. 100% for the critics. They all love it. Massive improvement, even better than the original. Some people... Hidden in here, there's actually some reviews that are not positive, but they spin it that way. And then it somehow ends up with 100% fresh. Crazy how that works, right? Well, we'll get back to that in a second. But as you can see, 54% audience score. So there is a lot of people who watched this and just did not care for it. Quite a few. And of course, you can see some of the reasons why. Heavy focus, it seems, in this show on diversity. And again, I'm not sure because I didn't watch the original show, so I'm being honest here, being completely transparent. I don't know the level of agenda pushing, diversity, inclusivity, all that kind of stuff in the original show from 4 years ago. So if somebody else can fill me in the comments, I don't know. I don't know what focus there was on this diversity quota. However, you can see that they definitely have, they've definitely hit the mark on diversity and inclusion. And that doesn't necessarily sit well with a lot of people. Let's be honest. It doesn't make you a horrible person if you are not into this kind of stuff. That's just a reality that people need to start understanding. It doesn't mean that you're a sexist or you're a phobe or an ist or whatever. It just means that you're not into this, okay? Nothing wrong with that. So some of the reviews here I think are interesting. People said awful, but social justice warriors are going to love it. Great animation, but just isn't as compelling. Some of the characters get old, kind of preachy. So that's just kind of the trend you'll see in the less than 5-star reviews on here. Definitely something to do with how the show was set in the French Revolution. Didn't really have any bearing on the show. And I find that funny. Anytime you do a timepiece, like a historical piece, where, yeah, it's fiction, you make up it's vampires and fantasy and stuff, but it's like you inject diversity and inclusion into a historical time period where that didn't exist, and it's curious. We'll just say curious. I don't know. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of people who are not thrilled with this show, but one person who is Paul Tassi over at Forbes. Paul Tassi, senior contributor over at Forbes. He definitely is part of the, let's just say, indoctrinated woke elite class. He definitely embodies everything that journalism has turned into. And he rails on here in this article about how essentially the ability for the audience to review things on Rotten Tomatoes is it's a joke. You know, it's because of the fact that everyone's just an ist or a phobe and they shouldn't be allowed to review things, and how Steam and the verified movie watcher thing on Rotten Tomatoes has basically helped eliminate this, even though it's a crapshoot. It really isn't fair. It's like the whole verification process to get verified for your review on Rotten Tomatoes is a joke because it's owned by Fandango, who you bought your movie ticket through in the first place. I don't know. It's just like, it's really slimy how they do things. But yeah, he even brings up Captain Marvel, how Brie Larson got hate because of the fact that it's a male-dominated critic industry and blah, 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 blah. Complaining about people using the words woke and everything. But the ironic part is that he says that Rotten Tomatoes has a problem with user reviews based off of, let's say, sexism or racism, right? Not a problem when it comes to the critic reviews, even though the fact that we've been shown just a few months ago, or maybe that was the beginning of last month, about how the Rotten Tomatoes reviewers are basically paid for by these PR firms that purchase reviews. Essentially, they gather up all these critics, they pay them for positive reviews, even if people didn't like the show or the movie, and then they submit those to Rotten Tomatoes, and it artificially inflates the critic score. But for some reason, when users have genuine complaints about a show or a movie or something that they just flat out didn't like for whatever reason, it doesn't have to be a specific reason. It could be the animation, it could be some sort of orientation situation. That's a fair critique. You may not like it, you might think that person's bigoted or whatever, but they're allowed to be that way. You cannot stop people from having an objective opinion about something based on their own life experience. That's just literally, that's the reality of being human. That's the human condition. You're going to have an opinion based on your beliefs and how you were raised, and certain things are going to jive with you and certain things aren't. But yeah, according to Paul Tassi, the problem is just the user reviews are too easily manipulated on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that the critics are all bought and paid for, which I'm not going to claim they all are, but it definitely seems like there's a much bigger issue with that. So yeah, seems like this Castlevania spinoff not doing so well. I'll be curious to see if the review score ticks up or not. When he did this article, it was at 53%. You know, it's sitting at 54% right now. So, you know, I don't know. Okay, it's up to 55. So who knows? It could get better. I'm probably not going to watch it myself, but if you've watched it, let me know your thoughts down below. I'm curious about your opinions because, like I said, I've had the Castlevania series, the first one, recommended to me by several people that said it was a fantastic show. This one doesn't seem to be trending the same direction. But let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it, and we will see you on the next one. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. We do have 2 channels, one for daily uploads, the other one for more of my live streams and hot takes. Links to both are down below, as well as the ability to join as a channel member for as little as $3 a month, and that'll greatly help us out. Much appreciated. We also have links to our Etsy accounts down below, as well as our website. We also have locals and Subscribestar. If you didn't want to support us on YouTube, you can support us through those. Thanks again for being here, and we will see you on the next one.